Hello and welcome to Smaulgld.com. Venezuelans want dollars and not for toilet paper. Let's take a look. The dollar in Venezuela is an inflation hedge against the Venezuelan bolivar. Dollars are valuable in inflation-torn Venezuela. There's a robust black market for US dollars that has developed there. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, yesterday or 2 days ago, I was on Wall Street for Main Street, hosted by Jason Barak. You should go over and check out that channel and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And we were having a conversation, and it really wasn't intended to be about Venezuela. We were actually just talking about one of the things we hit upon was the alternative financial media and the echo chamber, where you go from one channel to the other and you hear basically the same collapse story. And of course, if you mention the word collapse, that does trigger perhaps Venezuela. So we started talking about Venezuela. And one of the things that Jason said was that I was talking about how we look at things as if gold and silver or perhaps Bitcoin are what are real money, what people really want. And I had mentioned that that's not really true, that the world really wants dollars, because whether they want them, whether they criticize them or not, the bulk of the world's trade is done in dollars. That is indisputable. And yet people who support Bitcoin, gold, silver insist that those currencies are real money and what everyone wants. And Jason mentioned that in Venezuela, that people want dollars. And that is absolutely true. And ironically, the dollar is an inflation hedge against the bolivar. So we didn't really flesh that out. So what I've done is I looked up a couple of articles for you. They're on the Smaulgld website. If you go there, three interesting articles. One from the Los Angeles Times, noting that the bolivar, which is the Venezuelan currency, has lost 90% of its value against the dollar over the last year. And we always talk about how the US dollar has lost 98% of its value over the last 100 or so years, since 1913. Well, imagine Venezuela, their bolivar, losing 90% against the dollar. So that creates a strong black market, for the dollar. There's really nothing to add after market. It creates a strong black market for the dollar in Venezuela. And the Venezuelan government does get dollars as part of its international trade. And there was an article here in opencanada.org where a lot of the dollars that the Venezuelan government gets, I guess through the bureaucrats that are less than trustworthy, they get those dollars and then they go out and they sell them on the black market. Also from Slate, not known as a economic journal or having tremendous economic insights, they normally post articles like why are firemen men and nurses women. But in this case, they noted that as Venezuela prints more bolivars, all they do is create more inflation. And they also noted that when the United States does it, it doesn't seem to create the inflation. So there is some truth to that, in that when the United States prints massive amounts of dollars and it can sell that debt to foreigners, whereas when Venezuela does it, all it does is just completely 100% add to the money supply and drive up the prices of things and drives down the value of the bolivar. And as I mentioned, people go and get those US dollars, and that can help them combat inflation. If they can buy things for dollars and the dollar is stable in Venezuela, well, then they can buy their goods. Whereas if they had the bolivar, the next day the bolivar might be worth less, a week later even less, a couple of months later even less, so no one's going to hold on to them. But people will hoard the dollars and use them as their savings in Venezuela and then spend them. Also, if they want to leave Venezuela and go to nearby Colombia, there's nothing they could do bringing those bolivars with them. The Colombians aren't going to take them, but they will take the dollar. Again, the reason this came up was just an alternative way of looking at things, because many in the alternative media are constantly insisting the dollar's going to collapse, and I'm not saying it won't, but that the whole world thinks that the dollar is toilet paper. And Jason astutely pointed out that Venezuelans will take dollars gladly, and so will most of the world. So if you've enjoyed listening to this, please take a look at the offers on the Smaulgld website. That's how we pay the bills. We don't even pay the bills with that money, but meaning there's not enough to cover them. But we have gold and silver bullion dealers that advertise. They're affiliates. If you buy from them, Smaulgld gets a small commission. You can buy from BJSC, the Golden Eagle Coin, Money Metals Exchange, or SD Bullion, and you pay no more, no less than if you visited those sites directly. It's not investment advice, but if you are interested in buying gold and silver, please check out the pricing and shipping at those dealers on the website. Also, if you're interested in silver, you can get the Smaulgld 2017 Silver Report. It's about 40-50 pages. Tells you a lot more than just the cherry-picked data. Tells you as much as you need to know about. You can always learn more, but you get a good starting point on the supply and demand dynamics of silver. There's some charts. There's also 4 companion videos that you get with the silver report. You can order that on the Smaulgld website or at the link below. Also, if you have Bitcoin, if you have Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, and you want to protect them and take them off the exchanges, you can purchase a Ledger wallet from the Smaulgld website or the link below. Also, you can donate to Smaulgld via PayPal, via Bitcoin, via Litecoin, or you could become a patron via Patreon. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll have out later today the American Gold Eagle sales. Later in the week, we will have the American Gold Buffalo sales for the month of July. Then we will do the Perth Mint silver sales, the Perth Mint gold sales. Then we will do the Indian gold imports for June, the Indian silver imports for June. Then we should have the People's Bank of China's gold reserves update for July. We found another large silver stockpile. We'll do a report on that. Then we'll also be covering where the states that have enacted legal tender laws to date. So there's a lot coming up. So please remember to subscribe to this channel and to Smaulgld.com. Thank you very much.